On Tuesday's live stream, I shared 5 mistakes a slots enthusiast often makes. But those mistakes happen because slots enthusiasts don't know any better. They don't even know some of these mistakes exist. They were one, winning game themes exist. Uh, sorry, no. There's a couple of advantage plays, but I don't think that's what you're thinking about. Two, machine location doesn't matter. Yes, it does. Three, others winning isn't relevant. Yes, it does. Yes, it is. Keep playing no matter what. And I'm just like, wow, the money lost there. And 5, choice of casinos doesn't help, but it does help, and you can, go to a better local casino, in 40% of the states. So, and I had a bonus of, don't keep gambling records, keep gambling records. So today's topic, isn't about those mistakes, it's about habits of slots enthusiasts know they should have, but haven't followed through. Why? Because doing them isn't just like flipping a switch. They must try, which for a variety of personal reasons they haven't. Why? Because they don't know how to easily do it, which I'll get into more momentarily. And of course, I'll be taking your questions because this is a live stream. I'm only saying that because, of course, the people who are live here now know it's a live stream, but you might be watching this after the fact. Hello to you. Hello to you watching this recording. Thank you for being here, and be sure to subscribe for notifications so you can have your questions answered the next time I do one of these. But either way, stick around, and I'm sure it will be of value to you, even if you are watching this after the fact. But those of you who are here live, thank you so much. If you have a question, use hashtag question. That's so I can be sure to spot your question to me instead of comments in the live chat to each other. After all, this is also a community video where friends check in with each other about how their slots play has been going and the weather and a bunch of other stuff. It's fascinating to see some of the back and forth conversation, but I need to pick out your questions to me, and please use hashtag question so I can spot those. And thanks to the other creators of slots channels who are quietly watching my live streams. I'm glad so many of you have decided to watch. Educating yourself is important, and the gradual passing down of my concepts onto your audience members is how our industry changes and grows. So please enjoy the show. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me at john@professorslots.com. In fact, I feel so honored. I 10 minutes ago, I got a comment from Yamava Casino, a tribal casino in formerly San Manuel in California, and they spammed me. They spammed you. They messaged all of you on my channel. I don't allow that. I don't allow you to be spammed if I can possibly help it. And so I had to remove them, and gently, but but shame on you. If you want to advertise, email me and we'll do something together. Trying to get it for free, that's just rude. Um, but I think you're a good casino. I hear great things. So I gave you a pass. So improve your slots performance in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win. Uh, you'll also get 3 free valuable bonuses plus 1 month free membership to my Slots Enthusiast Growth Network, where you'll get community support and accountability. Visit professorslots.com/30 days to learn more about the free bonuses, course content, and testimonials from participants. And if you're still on the fence about whether to buy the course, remember that the price of the course is increasing in 3 days. So this is where you would buy the course, and that is the current price, which is going away on Sunday, which is exactly 3 days, 6 hours, 51 minutes, and 40 seconds away. It'll no longer be 50% off for $100 savings as of 10 p.m. Eastern this Sunday. And as you can see, that's the countdown clock. If you purchase the course, you're good to go because you only pay once in your life. And so you're good for lifetime access to my course. But if you don't have the course, now it's time to get it. Time is running out. So I remember in my early college years. Hello, everybody. It's nice to see all the highs. And tell me where you're from, please. That's wonderful. So I remember my early days of working my way through college, taking one or two courses at a time, trying to figure it out. Um, Early one year, I decided I really wanted to make an effort and get A's in all my courses, and I didn't. What? But 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 I thought all you had to do was, like, work hard and want it. But it turned out that it wasn't just working hard, it was also a set of skills I didn't have. So, slots is like that. I mean, there's a set of skills, and I knew I needed them, but I wasn't good at them. And you have to actually get good at it. So slots are like that. You can work hard and spend a lot of money, but there are three main habits you need to develop. Three three skills, and I'll go over them next. Yeah, we do know, but Pam says, hints at something, and we all know that we're way past that. Yes, please ask your questions, hashtag question, and I'll get to those in a few minutes. I usually help people get warmed up and get on board and check in and ask their questions, type away, and so I'll talk about these three habits. So it doesn't do you any good to win if you can't walk away with your winnings. So number one is, let's see here. Number one is being able to walk away with winnings. Uh, you can get them. I've talked about how it's not hard. I mean, it's easy when casinos aren't like completely tight. And then you win. But then so many people are like, I wasn't able to leave with it. What should I do? And I'm like, yeah, and now that you're starting to win, you're welcome. You suddenly found out that that it's that it's like, but I wanted to leave, yet I couldn't, and it's hard. And so this is where habits develop. This is where you get a lockable wallet. Although they're kind of small. It doesn't work for more than 50 bills. One of them doesn't work for more than 30 bills, and it could get even less than that. It can contain even less than that because these lockable wallets sometimes jam and they don't work with Canadian money as because Canadian money is a plastic, it's a polymer, and it doesn't go fold easily into the slots. You have to fold and fold and fold and fold on one of them, and at least you know fold it in half on another one of those. And my goodness, that is hard to do. So if you are looking for the lockable wallet, there is a link on any of my web pages, which I will share with you um, here. So let me make that big for you so you can see the image. Some of you are on your phones, and if I don't make it big, then it's really small. So let me scroll on down to that and show you where it's at. So let's do that. So this is on the right side, or if you're looking at a desktop computer, or if you're using a mobile phone, it's all the way to the bottom. It's these two gambling tools, which there's a link to Amazon. Commissions are earned at no cost to you. And so it's the, what is it called? Uh, um, Oh, what the gamble box? There's the gamble box, which is the one that has to be folded multiple times, and then there's the something something 2000, 200. Click on that. Uh, Winners Bank. Winners Bank 2000 comes in black, blue, and pink. And so if you're looking for that, it's at the bottom of all my web pages on the side if you're on a desktop. And these are great. I also like to use my a pocket. This is about developing a habit. So if you choose to use a pocket, always use the same pocket. It's a deposit only pocket. It's where you put your winnings. Some other pocket has, your bankroll and your 20s and your hundreds, or it's what you take out, and you can put stuff in there, but it's intended to just be like, instead of walking around with a fistful of money. But there's a one pocket that you always use, the same pocket or jacket pocket or purse or some portion of your wallet. This is meant to be deposit only. It took me 4 tries to use it successfully. I would put a portion of my winnings. I would decide before I even went to the casino if I won, this much, all of it, this much, half of it, and I based it off of how much bankroll I was taking with me. So if I won my bankroll amount in a win or more, then I would probably go home back when I was playing high limit, because that's a great profit. And we'll talk about a problem, a second habit you need to develop, but the first one is getting out of there, and just get out of there. And I say it like it's easy, but if you use a gamble box or a Winners Bank 200, or if you use a deposit only pocket, at the deposit only pocket, I got used to it. Developed a habit of using it. It took me 4 tries to get out of the casino. On the 3rd try, I almost got to the door. On the 2nd try, I got about halfway. On the 3rd try, I didn't get very far. And on the 1st try, I was like, why is that even using that in my pocket? So it was a progression of getting better until I was able to get out of the casino. And after that, when you get out of the casino with your money, it is such a powerful rush, sense of positive thing. There's other things we could talk about. I've had entire live streams about, well, if you're getting hand pays, then you can get a check. You can get a cashier's check, paid in cashier's check, get out of there. And there's a couple other things, but whatever method you have of preserving your gains, you got to walk away from your winnings. If you choose to continue to play, then it doesn't matter if you won anything, because you won't leave with anything. You tell me. If you don't have that habit, then it's a lot of fun. I mean, maybe that's your goal. Win a bunch of money and then spend it all. That's a fine goal. I haven't got an opinion about how you treat your life, but if you want to get out, if you have some portion of your gambling goals are making money, then you want to get out with it. And you gotta try, and it's and fail and get better at it, and encourage yourself and build some discipline, whatever method that you use. There's so many different methods. Some people say, well, I give it to my spouse because my spouse won't give it back. So whatever works, but for you, and that's what's necessary here. Now, number 2 is stopping when you're losing. It's kind of related, but this is chasing wins, right? Where if you're taking playing the slot machine as a challenge, and by golly, you're gonna beat the machine, and people lose so much money that way. That's something that you need to develop a habit of. It's not a personal challenge. Sometimes, you drive 2 hours to go to your nearest casino, and it's a bad time. It's a bad time, and you just have to, find a way to accept that if you're spending the night, maybe try another time if you want to, but if you're losing, you're losing. But I'll make it all back. I've had people uh, go to extremes. People email me, or I have consultations with people. A lot of consultations this week. There's no time available. I think there might be one left, but in any case, they would contact me thinking about making more slots available because it's getting so full. I have actually, but I think about making it permanent this week. Anyway, some people will contact me and they say, I am $100,000 behind after the last 20 years. How do I make it all back? Go back in time and contact me 10 years ago when I was first getting started, maybe. And I'll tell you, don't do that, because, you know, you could possibly dig yourself out of a hole. Obviously, you have lots of bad habits. Not, I don't mean you, but this person had lots of bad habits, and they all have to be fixed. And then, you know, an accomplishment would be to no longer lose money. And hooray! That would be a serious accomplishment. But then they want to then you know go back to winning, all that money back. And I'm just like, respect the process, understand what you've gotten yourself into, that you're in the hole, your habits are in the hole with you, and first you fix those, and then you win a little bit each trip. And half the time that it took to lose all that money, you might make it back, or the same amount of time might take 10 years, might take 20, twice as much. It is dependent on your casino, what your casino is doing and what they continue to do. And you're not having a day when you, go in. And that's one of the things people are trying to make a living at winning at slots. And one bad day, it's like, I don't know, having a business. You one bad day and you order too much, and suddenly you don't have any cash flow and you have to lay people off. It's one bad day. Playing slots could wipe out your profit for the year, for the month, the week, the day, the week, the month, the year. And so stop when you're losing. That's loss limits. And I tell you all about that in the course. It's what works for you. And so we can talk about that if you have questions. But number 3 is only take to the casino what you can easily afford to lose. So all these habits have to do with your being successful at slots, that you are a winner. We just need to get you to keep it and not lose it, and only take what you can afford to lose, because some days you aren't a winner. And so we don't want to have the whole, trip, the week, the month, the year turn into a negative balance on your gambling because of one day. I also call this my golden rule. My golden rule of slots: only take to the casino what you can comfortably afford to lose. Yeah. And so I talk for 20 minutes. I'll switch over to questions. Please make sure, if you have a question, to use hashtag question, as it says across the bottom of the screen in very small print. Hard to see perhaps on a phone, but that's what that's saying, hashtag question, so I can see those. I know I have a couple of them already, and I will start answering those in a minute. So we usually go for about another hour, a little bit more than that. I have a limit of 2 hours, because that's as far as my voice will take me. And so we've been stopping about a half an hour before that, which has been a real relief this week. And so we've got at least another hour, unless we run out of questions. But if we get more questions, we can go to another hour and 40 minutes. So improve your slots play with my improve your slots performance in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win. You also get 3 free valuable bonuses plus 1 month free membership to my Slots Enthusiast Growth Network. And we're meeting tonight at 7 Eastern on our Zoom group meeting, which is always a lot of fun, but where you'll get community support and accountability. Visit professorslots.com/30 days to learn more about the free bonuses, course content, and testimonials from participants. But soon it will no longer be 50% off for a $100 savings. It is going to be switching to it is going to be changing from that 50% off for $100 savings at 10 p.m. Eastern this Sunday, as you can see from the countdown clock. If you purchase the course, you're good to go because you have lifetime access. But if you don't have the course, now it's time to get it. Time is running out. So let's look into your questions here and see what you want to know. You might have noticed that I'm you're watching me on YouTube or Facebook, so you know that I have what's called shorts, YouTube shorts, that I'm putting up 3 times a day. One just came out 20 minutes ago, or did on YouTube. YouTube. Yeah, Facebook, it'll be a little bit later. And I hope you're enjoying those. Trying to build up a library, I am building a slots library. It's a playlist, should by the end of the year, should have over 1,000 of these. So, and you can search it. So hashtag question from David. If you use a multi-denominational slot, does the odds or percentage of pay improve with the higher the bet? Okay, I thought you were chopped off there. No, it's a common myth. You can look at the return statistics for the 6 or 7 states. I just found one, Iowa, that looks like it has return statistics. I need to check that out. So it was 6, but now it's 7, I believe. And so if you look at those, like Nevada, you can see what the returns are. And it has happened. It has happened where the different denominations actually go up and improve with a payout. I saw it 1 month last year. So, it's possible, but it's not. The myth is that it's always like that. So no. Now, one of the reasons why this myth exists is penny slots are the worst. It's like a conclusion we can draw because there was, it's just so incredibly rare. Colorado was one of those states that has slot machine denominations by return by slot. They have returns by slot machine denomination. And once Cripple Creek, was it last year, February, it was like penny slots weren't the worst. I mean, they were by no means the best. They were like the second worst. So that was the one exception. So yeah, when you're starting out with a penny slot, that is the worst odds. Yeah, but it doesn't continue from there. What's been happening lately is it's fairly strong that the 5-cent denomination is the best out of all of them. And when I went through the 6 states that have slot machine denominations, I looked to see what denomination was the best. And in 3 of the states, it was one of the lower limit denominations, and in 3 of the states, it was one of the high limit denominations. But you're asking about in a multi-denominational machine. No, it is not in order. Yeah, on a multi-denomination machine or in just different denominations. Yeah. If you want proof of this, you can look at the average for multi-denomination machines. Nevada, I think it's Mississippi as well. That's one of the states that has slot machine denominations. You can look at those returns for just the line item multi-denomination, and compare it to what are the uh, uh, returns for the other denominations. And by rights, it should be this, the average multi-denomination should be the average of all the other denominations, and it's not. So that tells us right there. No, I could probably write a paper on that and have to put charts and graphs, but yeah. So Katja says, I don't know. I always get half my winnings away every time I cash out. Good, 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 good. You know, it's you're half better than everybody else that can't get any of it out. But you're half as good as those people who get all of it out. So you're doing well, doing well. Well done. Yes, and so I wanted to show this so that other people uh, um, can see what's going on. Yeah, the fun is count and also says the fun is counting it when I get home. Does anybody else like lay out the hundreds on like a bed and kind of roll in it? Is that just me? I'm blushing. Um, uh, Teresa says, hashtag question. I play in a tribal casino with mostly class two slots. The bingo card is on the machine. Does my winning odds improve or change at all with the number of others playing at the same time? Uh, almost, almost. Um, uh, I would say, see, it's a bingo game, right? And all of you, if you have the same appearance of the card, means that whoever has the same appearance of the card is on the same bingo game. And bingo games end. And when the bingo game ends is when you win or people win. And you can get to the end of the game faster if there's more people. I have to put this in a video. Somebody said, why don't you have a class two video? And I said, well, I'm still kind of perfecting it. And they said, we're all out here waiting. If you could just like tell us what you know and worry about perfection later. Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, when many people are playing, you're going to get to the end of that bingo game faster. And that's where the wins can happen for you, and that's where you want to be at the end. But then it's also over quickly, and everybody sort of has to, play the game for a while before the big hits start happening, and that's basically what's going on. So, thank you. Robe, thank you so much for your donation. It very much appreciated. Uh, and $20 at a time, I'm going to get my way over to Oklahoma. And, and so this is going into my travel fund. Thank you so much. It's so expensive right now, so feel free to donate. What is that, like a third of a tank of gas or something? But thank you. Yeah. Colt. Hashtag question, is $100 bankroll enough to try to win a hand pay? If so, what's the best approach to doing so? How much should I begin my bets with? 5-spin method? So there's a couple of different ways to handle a $100 bankroll. And that, I mean, a lot of people have a $100 bankroll, or if you have $300, it's three $100 bankrolls. A couple of things are going on. One is the rising cost of going to the casino. Casinos are raising the minimum bets. You may have machines, a few machines in your casino, which are minimum bets are fairly low. And, when it's a $10 bet or a $5 bet or an $8 bet, or, when most machines like penny slots would be like $1, you only get 100 bets, and 100 bets is kind of like, spent with $100, and that's it, and that's 100 bets is about how you evaluate whether or not a machine is a good machine or not. And so you really have to be frugal. Now, when I've gone to casinos, I've taken a $300 bankroll and I've actually spent $900 because with that $300 bankroll, I won $300 twice. So if you have a $100 bankroll and you go to a casino where you know something about it, you know if the 5 spin method works or doesn't work, if you have this knowledge, favorite machines, you've scoped it out, you've scouted it, reconnaissance, if you use that knowledge, and I take $300 to a new to me casino, and I'm starting from scratch. If I've never been to it before, I've never been to it before, and I look around and I try to use $300, and before it's gone, I learn enough. I learn stuff, and I put it into an article and share it. And thank you, Teresa. I Thank you very much for your donation. I very much appreciate it. I've been getting a lot of contact information from people who are saying, "Please come and come to my casino, Lawson, I think, and others who have said, come to Northeast Oklahoma." And thank you for donation. That's where the money is going. Right. So to walk you through how to use a $100 bankroll, it's sort of enough now, but the wins are pretty hard to get a hand pay. The bigger the denomination, the bigger the jackpot, a maximum jackpot is on that machine. So you with a $100 bankroll, you have to go to the lower um, bets, and the lower bets might have like a quarter machine may have a 4,000 credit top jackpot. Well, that's $1,000. That's not a hand pay, right? So it gets a little bit more out of reach, when it's minimum bets. And so that kind of how do I put this? If you were to get a hand pay with a minimum bet, just imagine what it would have been if it was maximum bet, you know, $10,000 or more, instead of $1,200. You've accomplished something with a 50-cent bet. You've really accomplished something, and don't regret that you didn't make maximum bet. It's just it's quite something. I've been giving examples lately of people winning $17,000 on a 50-cent bet, $20,000 on a 75-cent bet. It was a lot of 75-cent bets, but one of them won that hand pay. So yeah. Um, how much should I begin my bets with? 5 spin method. If the 5 spin method works, then it works, and that's what that's prior knowledge, and that's what you. And hey, Steve, how you doing? Steve is from Wisconsin, and we chat almost every day. It seems like. Do slots techs know about the casino using central servers when working on slot machine, or is that security issue that they can't talk about? Uh, Kind of a third option, which is the casino doesn't need to tell them. Make sure the cable's connected, please. Thank you. And they know there is a central computer, but they don't work on it. Why? Because only one person works on it. Oh, hey buddy, could you come change the fan? Thanks. We need regular maintenance and cleaning up the fan filter. And so this is special training, and that individual, sure, that individual can't talk about it, but it's not like there's a lot of people trained to use it. It's a small team, but when you've got 1,500 slot machines out in the floor, and half of them need to be replaced during the renovation, and the rest of the time 10% of them are broken. There's a lot of things for the slot tech to do, and they make sure things are connected, that the little green light is what it's supposed to be, that the diagnostics are good, and any upgrades in the software, and replacing machines and fixing broken machines, or at least sending them out to be repaired, blah 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 blah. And but it's not their job. Otherwise, otherwise everybody there, there's a lot of slot techs out there. So I'm going to do this engineering thing that I do. By the way, I need to thank Francis. Thank you, Francis, for your $1.99 donation. I very much appreciate it. Thank you. And that's a super sticker, and the super sticker is vibes. So thank you. And Robes was you are amazing. And Teresa's was a super chat, which says, please come to Northeast Oklahoma. And so um, uh, uh, there are doing an engineering estimate, right? There's basically 1,000 casinos in the United States. About half of them are tribal, but that's not important. So it might be 980, whatever the actual number is. Let's just call it 1,000. And how many slot techs are needed at a casino? Well, there's 3 shifts. You might not need very many of them for second and third shift, because maybe during the day is when a lot of replacements are done, not so much at night. It might be early in the morning, just to avoid the crowds. And so, all the machines should be functioning in the evening when the whole thing's busy. So really, slot techs are only there for emergencies. So let's say 2 third shift, 2 second shift, and then I don't know. These aren't slot attendants. I'd guess 5 on first shift, and then of course you'd might be able to pull to first shift some of the others when you have like a big event. So 5, 2, and 2. Let's call that 10. There are 1,000 casinos. 10 on average. 10 slot techs per casino. 10,000 slot techs in the United States. Engineering estimate, pretty accurate. And if they all knew and were told they can't talk about it, they're no longer working that job, they're going to be able to keep the secret? No. A lot of them, I mean, they're honest people and all of that, but 10,000 people keeping a secret? No. Yeah. So, yeah, I thought I had done something about that. Yeah. So so I think I answered the question. Nope, the casino basically didn't tell them. Yeah. Well, I mean, connect the cable, please. Make sure you got a green light. Do the diagnostics so we can check to see it has proper communications. Okay. And somebody else that runs the central server. A lot less than 10,000 people. Let's see. Where did I leave off? I think I left off with Steve. Yes. So, Robe, question, hashtag question. In optimizing your winnings, you should include the rewards given by the casino along with your winnings versus your losses. For many people that lose, I mean, yes. Sorry, everybody. Getting a free car is a comp. Getting a free trip is a comp. it's taxable income, getting a free drink, getting a free meal, getting a free hotel stay, getting a widescreen TV, getting these electronics, electronic bread maker, my favorite. I got 4 of them. You know, they all have free market value, and they're all taxable income. And for most people, it doesn't matter. Most people spend a lot more than they make at slots. So, you're complying with the IRS, you're not getting in trouble, and so you keep a log of what you won, where and when, and how much it was worth, and it doesn't add a thing to your gambling because you don't you're not you're not a winner. Most people aren't a winner. It's only becoming a problem now when I'm telling people how to win and explaining and showing and all of that, and 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 now they're winning, and so it might actually be a little bit taxable. But I was top tier. I was 7 stars for a couple of years, and in one of those years, I kept track of the value of what I got, my trips, my gifts, all that, and it was about $10,000 in free stuff. Don't include free slots play, because if you read the fine print on the mail flyer, it'll tell you how much it's worth. And so that $30 is actually worth like a fraction of a penny. So, the free market value is an important thing I just sort of skipped over, but you can read the fine print on the free slots play. And so, right, if you would take out all of that, yeah, $10,000 for a high limit player, top tier, who went 3 times a week. Uh, that's about right. And that was equal to like one of my jackpots. So pretty small overall. Um, let's see. I won. Uh, there's several ways to count how you won. I won $150,000 in W-2 hand pays in a year. And so that would have been a little less than 10%. Comps would have been a little bit less than 10%. Did that a couple of years in a row. And then now I play low limits, and I'm checking out what it's like to try to have $100 bankroll. And trying to use that when it's getting to be really hard. My old coworker told me that that him and his wife used to each take a roll of quarters at $10. But that was back when we had coins. My goodness. In any case, there is a few things that you can do about this, and keeping track shouldn't harm you at all. Yeah, 10% or less of my well, yeah. There's a couple of different ways to look at winning. It's amazing, how much of it was profit, how much of it was winnings. So of that $150,000 in W-2G hand pays, I was making a $30,000 profit. And that did include $10,000 of stuff because I gave it away, and that was my being able to reduce the cost of Christmas and all those other days for gifts, which I would have actually spent money. Instead, I gave them a gift, and even did a walk through my spare garage, my spare bedroom. So that, what do you want? Do you want the surfboard, or do you want the TV, or do you? High limit. It was fun. That was good for my soul, as they say. So, next question. Thanks, Steve, and Robe. So, Sun in the Night. You can't win at slots. They have to pay all employees, and the boss want to make it to win is. You go ahead and you believe what you want to believe. Yeah, that's right. The average return is 93% in Nevada. on slots, and poker is 30% lower on average, and blackjack is 30% lower on average, and 20 to 30%. If you had said baccarat, you might have had some leg to stand on. Get the facts. Yeah. All I need to do is increase my winnings by 7%. Anybody playing poker, and the professional poker players exist, they have to bring their average up 30%. I only have to find ways to bring my average up 7% to go over 100. But then you're not really following data. Yeah. Mr. Slots. Thank you. I was going to go with Dr. Slots, but the URL was taken, so I went with Professor Slots. But Dr. Slots would have been too medical, I think. So what's the difference between Class 2 and Class 3 casino? There is no such thing as a Class 3 or Class 2 casino. There's Class 2 and Class 3 slot machines. And so technically slot machines are Class 3, and electronic gaming machines is what they call Class 2. So some people, for some reason, it's not official. This is the Class 2 and Class 3 all came from a federal law, and they don't identify casinos that way. They identify machines that way. And so, sorry, I'm still getting a laugh. From prior comments. So when you look at Class 2 machines, they're called skill-based games. You might consider video poker a skill-based game because your choices matter. And so on Class 2 machines, the idea is that skill matters. And so it isn't just about pressing the button and everything that's going to happen happens. Bonus rounds, choosing coins, none of that matters. You think it matters, but it doesn't matter. On slot machines, on Class 3 machines, it was press of the button, everything was decided right then, and you're just there for the show after that until the next bet. But on Class 2 machines, you have to make decisions. And so not every state has been able to convince their gaming commission that video poker is a Class 2 game. Otherwise, tribal casinos would have video poker. Indiana was able to do that at their single tribal casino, Four Winds in South Bend, the northern part of next to the border to Michigan in Indiana. And they were able to convince the state gaming commission that, it's actually a skill-based game and it's electronic, and why don't we just, make that available? And so they were able to do that there. It's interesting, all these interpretations. And I should apologize to Sun in the Night. If you, the players, if you look at slot machines, one slot machine makes a profit after giving back 90% of the winnings. The 10% that the casino keeps in Indiana for a mid-sized casino is $518 per day for one slot machine. So for 30 days, 30.4 is the average number of days in a month. That's $17,000 a month. And you do the math. There's 1,500 machines, all making $518 on average profit before paying the electric bill and employees. Yeah. Compare that to whatever you're doing with poker. Helps get the facts. Or not. So a comment. FF Chief says, I was at the Hard Rock Atlantic City last night. I had a decent return on a 25 machine using the location strategy. Yeah, it doesn't cost you anything. One of the things that people say is it's all random. And what they mean by that is I don't want to try. It's probably a little negative to say that, but and I don't want to have to apologize again, but or don't feel like I should. Anyway, If it is random, then there uh, nothing you do will matter because that's the nature of randomness. I'm a physicist, all right? I'm not quite a statistician. I've just had a huge number of courses on statistics and again and again, and I've used them at my job. And there's this saying that you'll never use anything more than algebra in your life after you take calculus and all this other stuff. I don't know what they're talking about. I'm using it all the time. And so when you look at the statistics, it can be uh, so when you look at randomness, this means that nothing you can do matter, and yet we make choices using the location strategy that matters. I could show you the calculus, but I would actually have to have my whiteboard behind me, and I long since got rid of that. But you know, we can show you the math, but it's easier for me to say you did it right. That's very convincing to have cash in hand. It's very convincing. Hey, uh, hi, Sugar Moon Garden. She knows that my name is John Friedel, actually my name, and she knows that it's the German word for peace, and so she calls me. It was Professor Peace, and then now it's like Pro Peace, and it's all getting shortened. Thank you. D Cow has a question. Has anyone played in Mountaineer or what used to be Mountaineer in West Virginia? I have not. Interesting. If you want to ask other people. If you want to ask me, use hashtag question. Wow. Great. Sun in the Night. Hey, Germany, yay. Texas Hold'em poker not against the casino. Well, sometimes they ask for a fee to be able to enter it, but yes, poker is about playing each other and against each other, not against the casino. When you're playing craps, it's kind of like, poker, one person wins. And so there's always one person. If you're in craps, then you all win and lose together. And so it's kind of a social event. Poker is kind of like, and then so craps is more like, we're all in it together. We all go up and we all go down. And that's where the negative EV is. It's a statistical fact. Yeah. And yeah. 80% return to player. I only win in 8 years, $2,500 in euros. Sorry, euros. Poker, you can win. Poker, you're beating the other player. There's a great poker player from a while ago called Jimmy the Greek, and Jimmy the Greek said, "Don't play poker. When you're playing poker, don't play poker. Play the other player." And when I talk about playing slot machines, I basically say, I use that expression and I say, don't play the slot machine, play the casino that owns the slot machine, that runs the slot machines, that set up the slot machine. What is the casino got in mind for their slot machines? And that's what you're trying to struggle against. That's the competitor, not the machine, the casino. And that's my poker reference. Do I believe in luck as in streaks? Sure. Yeah, absolutely. It's all mixed in with some of the games. But when you see stuff which isn't luck, getting hit by lightning twice, happens to people. Winning the lottery twice, not really. What's going on there is the money they won the first time they won the lottery was what they used to win the second time. And I just hope they didn't go for a third time to win the lottery, because it's even less likely than the second time. So they're going to have to spend all that and borrow more. Talk about chasing wins. And so there's luck, and then there's statistically difficult situations going on. So if you are winning, if you go to Kashada's website, they have all the data on what's going on, every hand pay, every $1,200 or more jackpot in the last 4 weeks. And I'm looking at that, and one machine has over 170 hand pays in 4 weeks. And other machines for the same denomination have less than 25, have 10, have 2. What the heck? That isn't statistics. That's the casino set it up that way. Yeah. Do I believe in luck? That's a great philosophical question. You do realize I'm a physicist, and do you know anything about the multiverse outside of Marvel? Schrodinger, the cat's both dead and alive, because here it's dead, and someplace else it's alive, and everything else is the same except the cat's alive. And that's a splitting of the universe. This is not even a theory; it's a philosophy. Because if you have a theory, that means you have a way to test it, but we don't yet have a way to test this multiverse world, multi-world hypothesis, and so multi-universe hypothesis. So it's not even a theory. So and so the question is it really? I don't mean to talk. I don't mean to talk physics. I was at a recreational gambling podcaster meetup. Mark and Dr. Mike from You Can Bet on That. They were there, and others, and the Betting Life, and Cousin Vito, and all of those individuals with their podcasts and my podcast, and we were there, and we were and I got in a conversation with one of the fans there, and we were talking about quantum physics, and she was like drinking her drink and going, I didn't really expect to be talking about quantum physics during a gambler podcast meetup. And I'm like, sorry. Some things, that we do for fun. And so Billy, some days luck is with me. Yeah, if you want to feel that way, I've had people say ESP, as what works for them. I don't want to get in the way. I don't want to get in the way of that. Just go ahead and do what works for you. And if you want to dig into improving your habits or what's going on, for me, it's always been education and math. Not that you need to take math, but I see what you mean. You say I actually feel like slots way better, and when I try not to win. Well, that's the psychology. That's all part of this. People think it's due, and there's no clue for that. That's just upbringing and what they want to believe. But I have Chuck, who may be listening to this later. He talks about Chuck, who may be here later. He says that when he's just a little bit upset and tired, and it's 2:00 in the morning, that seems to be when he wins best. But that's pretty unique. So whatever works for you, buddy. Hashtag question. Gila River Casino, I've heard good things, is undergoing construction for more room. Is the return to player affected? If so, does the other location also affected? So first off, it's not affected yet. What I've seen is they don't have to start payments until the construction's completed. So that's when they need the money, and that's when their change is affected. Now, as to whether the other site is affected, these are fairly small. This isn't like MGM where they have multiple states and it's a corporation, and maybe they only bought some of these some of these casinos recently, and there's still executive staff in that part of the, it's few casinos, and uh, that's quite possible. Even MGM had such a massive number of purchases of other casinos like Cosmopolitan, Aria, 7 casinos on the Las Vegas Strip, and then all over the country too. It was a major expansion. And so, and MGM Grand Detroit was like paying the bill, and other MGM properties were paying that bill. And so that sort of thing you can see. I think in your microcosm of a few casinos, that's quite possible. But again, the payments don't start until the construction's completed. I mean, there was some deposit at some point, but that you won't likely see the big change until they open back up, because everybody knows it's like, well, I have to close half the casino and pay, because watch, our construction is messy, or all these different entrances have to be blocked off, whatever, and they get an agreement that you complete the work, we certify it, you did your job, and then we pay you. And so that is when they need the money, and that is when they change the odds. Yeah, obviously, you can see it in the records. You can, I don't think Arizona has return statistics. I don't think that's one of them. Right, it's not one of them. And so, you can't see the statistics, but you can go to other states that do have the 40% of the states, 20 of the US states have that. And if you know your casino, a Mississippi casino or something like that, where they did a bunch of construction, then you can just see, whop, it happening. Yeah. Right. Hashtag question from Lady D. Hello. Hi. In terms of machine location, how do you identify trying too hard, and would you try it anyway? Whatever you're comfortable with. I learned my lesson. I think it was the 15-foot high neon cowboy that it was just like, the Big Bang Theory, big, physical reels that were 10 feet high. It was just like, I get this feeling of, wow, trying too hard. It's like, being on a date, it's just like trying too hard. Yeah, okay, fine. It's like dating me, and I'm trying too hard. And that would be, the feeling I got from machines that were just set up that way. If you want to play them, I just want you to understand that there is a approach here. If you want to play them, you know, you might. If you think, I think it's kind of not worth the effort, because it is a big investment and everybody knows it. But on the other hand, I just can't. I'm reluctant. That would be the one that they would set up not to win, is my strong feeling, because they put out all that effort, and they wouldn't be able to help. And we wanted to give people winnings. No, it just no. But the littler stuff is just a general trend for the casino, not the big display for the casino. Too often, it's a wide area progressive with millions of dollars in the top jackpot, and all that costs money, and so they pay for it with that machine. I just cannot bring myself to say try it anyway. Certainly you could, but and maybe lightning will strike. I don't want to tell you no. And no hashtag questions on some of these comments. So, and we've been going for an hour. I will wait just a moment and see. Although every time I say that, the numbers drop off. So, I will say improve your slots gambling performance with and 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win. You also get 3 valuable bonuses, and they talk about them here. Learning to win, gambling record templates, community support. You get 1 month free, and you get these 3 valuable bonuses plus um, uh, community support and accountability. So visit professorslots.com/30 days. And I'm scrolling past the curriculum to learn more about the free bonuses, course content, and testimonials. But the price is going up on Sunday evening, where it will no longer be discounted at 50% off for a $100 off. And as it's been for over a year since I started offering the course last year, pre-sold it. And so you have until 10 p.m. this Sunday to lock in that 50% off for lifetime access to the course. Okay, that's it. What a great live stream. I'll see you in my next live stream on Saturday at noon Eastern. In the meantime, please let me put that away. Uh, and so, yes, 3 days, 5 hours, and 55 minutes left before the price goes up. So, in the meantime, watch this video on how to keep excellent slots gambling records. It's not just what the IRS wants. It's also about gameplay analysis. You'll be amazed by what you learn. Seriously.